Chapter 2. Microorganisms, Friend and Foe. Introduction. Have you ever seen the white-gray areas on spoiled bread? What kinds of structures are these, and where did they originate? Many microscopic living things that are invisible to the human sight are present all around us. These are referred to as microorganisms or microbes, and microbiology is the study of microbes. A microbiologist is a scientist who specializes in studying microbes. Microorganism. The majority of creatures on our planet are microbes. They can be found practically everywhere on Earth, including in deserts, hot springs, ice-cold locations, and even inside the bodies of humans and animals. While some bacteria develop on other species, others are free to live. Some people leave others alone while others form colonies to grow. They could be single-celled critters or multicellular ones. The 5 major groups of microorganisms are bacteria, protozoa, fungus, algae, and viruses. Bacteria. Bacteria are unicellular, single-celled creatures. They are among the planet's smallest and oldest species. There are bacteria everywhere. They can be found in the air, soil, water, and both inside and outside of our bodies. They can endure harsh circumstances like heat and drought. Bacteria are categorized as rod-shaped, bacilli, spherical, cocky, comma-shaped, vibrio, and spiral-shaped, spirilla, based on their forms. The breeding characteristics of bacteria provide another reason for classification. The term aerobic bacteria refers to microorganisms that respire using oxygen. Anaerobic bacteria are those that can survive in the absence of oxygen. Protozoa. Protozoa are a class of unicellular creatures that resemble animals. While some protozoans, like Euglena, have traits similar to those of plants, such as the ability to undergo photosynthesis and contain chlorophyll, these organisms also lack a cell wall. Protozoa can be found in soil, fresh water, and marine environments. The host's other living things are the places where parasitic protozoans reside on or inside of. Trypanosoma, Paramecium, Entomoeba, and amoeba are a few types of protozoa. Fungi. Fungi are organisms that resemble plants but do not contain chlorophyll. Fungi can be classified as macroscopic and multicellular, like mushrooms, or microscopic and unicellular, like yeast and molds. The food source for all fungi is decomposing and dead materials. Algae. The smallest members of the plant kingdom are algae. They range in size from unicellular, like Chlamydomonas, to multicellular, like Spirogyra, and seaweeds, photosynthetic, and watery. Algae are naturally autotrophic. Algae can be divided into 3 categories based on color: red, brown, and green. The various pigment types that algae contain give them their various colors. Some algae are linked to rocks and other surfaces, such as the seabed, and some are free-floating phytoplanktons, the main producers in aquatic food chains. Algae are capable of both sexual and asexual reproduction. Viruses. Smaller than any known cell are viruses. Only an electron microscope can see them because they are so tiny. The cellular structure of other bacteria is absent from viruses. Only the host organism cells, which could be a bacteria, plant, animal, or human, are where viruses replicate. Viruses include bacteriophages, human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, and tobacco mosaic virus, TMV. Viruses are also the source of the dreaded swine and avian flu illnesses. Habitat of microorganisms. As discussed earlier, microorganisms can survive in all types of environments such as ice-cold regions, deserts, hot springs, marshlands, etc. These are also found inside the bodies of animals and humans. The growth of microorganisms require the following suitable conditions. 1. Oxygen. Microorganisms which require oxygen for respiration are known as aerobic, that is Streptococcus, Staphylococcus, etc. Microorganisms which do not require oxygen for respiration are known as anaerobic, example yeast, Escherichia coli, etc. 2. Water. This is the most essential requirement and is available as moisture. 3. Temperature. The best temperature for the growth of microbes is between 25 and 38 degrees Celsius. 4. Sunlight. Most microorganisms thrive best in dark places and direct sunlight kills them. 5. Food. Depending upon the food supply, microorganisms can be saprophytic, parasitic, photosynthetic, etc. Friendly microorganisms. Many microorganisms benefit us in a number of ways. Microorganisms make their ways in food and beverage industry, health sector, agriculture and environment cleaning. In food and beverage, making bread, the process of making bread involves the addition of flour, salt, sugar, yeast cells and water to knead into dough. Yeast reproduces rapidly and produces CO2 during respiration. Due to production of CO2, the dough rises and the volume increases. When the bread is baked, carbon dioxide is released, leaving behind pores that makes the bread porous and spongy. Making curd and cheese. When a small amount of curd is mixed into warm milk and kept aside for few hours, the milk changes into curd. This happens because curd contains a bacterium called lactobacillus. Lactobacillus bacteria multiply in the milk and coagulate it to form curd. The production of cheese and paneer, cottage cheese, also involves the use of bacteria such as lactobacillus and streptococcus. Making alcoholic beverages, the process of conversion of sugar into an acid or an alcohol by the action of microorganisms is known as fermentation. Yeast is used for commercial production of Alcohol and wine. Yeast is added to grains like barley, grapes, rice, wheat, etc. to produce beverages such as beer and wine. Microorganisms are also used in the production of vinegar, toothpaste, pickles, etc. in health sector. Making antibiotics. The medicines that destroy disease-causing microbes are known as antibiotics. Certain bacteria and fungi are used in the production of these medicines. Medicines such as penicillin, obtained from Penicillium, streptomycin and tetracycline, obtained from Streptomyces, are examples of antibiotics. Making vaccines. When disease-causing microbes attack our body, it starts producing substances called antibodies. These antibodies fight and destroy the microbes. After that, these antibodies remain in the body to fight future invasions. A vaccine is a preparation of killed or weakened disease-causing microbes. When a vaccine is introduced in the body of a healthy person, the body produces antibodies. These antibodies remain in the body and protect us from possible future infections by the same microbes. Some microbes are also used as food supplements. For example, chlorella lives inside the human body and helps in the digestion of food. In agriculture, plants need nitrogen to grow. However, the nitrogen present in air cannot be used by the plants directly. There are some bacteria and blue-green algae which are able to change the atmospheric nitrogen into other nitrogen compounds called nitrates, which can be absorbed by plants. This is called nitrogen fixation. These microbes fix N to enrich soil with nitrates and increase the fertility of the soil. These microorganisms are known as biological nitrogen fixers. We will learn more about nitrogen fixation later in the chapter. In environment cleaning, microorganisms help in the decomposition of collected wastes such as plants, vegetables and fruits from houses and gardens. These waste materials are converted into useful manure by the microbes. In some villages, all the natural waste is converted into biogas and manure. Biogas makes an excellent fuel for domestic use as compared to wood or cow dung. Microbes also help in the decomposition of dead animals. They are also used in sewage treatment plants to clean the water of natural and organic waste. Harmful microorganisms. Many microorganisms are harmful to animals, plants and humans. These can be broadly classified as disease-causing microbes, food-spoiling microbes, disease-causing microbes, microbes which cause disease in other living organisms including humans are known as pathogens. These pathogens are present in air, water and food. Some diseases can be spread by direct physical contact with the infected person through air, water, food or contact. These are known as communicable diseases. There are other diseases which get transmitted from an infected to a healthy person through carriers of microbes, such as mosquitoes and houseflies. For example, fevers like malaria and dengue are transmitted by different types of Mosquitoes. Some of the common communicable diseases in human beings are listed below. Communicable diseases in human beings. Disease. Mode of transmission. Pathogen. Preventive measure. Malaria. Female anopheles. Mosquito protozoan. Do not allow these to thrive in the locality. Use repellents and nets. Cholera contaminated food and water bacterium. Maintenance of proper sanitation practices. Boiling water. Avoid. Uncovered food. Typhoid. Contaminated food bacterium. Maintenance of proper sanitation practices. Tuberculosis. Air. Bacterium. Vaccination for children. Common cold. Air. Virus. Wash hands regularly. Avoid close contact with infected person. There are some dangerous diseases in animals which are caused by microbes. Few of them are listed below. Disease. Affected animals. Mode of transmission. Pathogen. Foot and mouth disease. Cattle. Air or contact with diseased animals. Virus. Anthrax. Cattle. Grazing. Bacterium. Rinderpest. Cattle. Air or contact with diseased animals. Contaminated water. Virus. Similarly, following diseases are caused by microbes in plants. Disease. Mode of transmission. Pathogen. Citrus canker. Air. Bacterium. Rust of wheat. Air. Seeds fungus. Apple scab. Air. Fungus. Food spoiling microbes. Microorganisms such as fungi and bacteria are responsible for the spoilage of various foodstuffs. The microbes start growing in suitable conditions such as warm temperatures, moisture and air. They produce toxic substances which make the food unfit for consumption and may cause serious illness due to food poisoning. The growth of harmful microbes on foodstuff is indicated by foul odor, slimy or cotton-like growth on the surface, change of surface color, sour taste, or gas formation. Food preservation. To store food for long period of time, it needs to be protected from microbial growth. The process of treating food materials to preserve them for longer time is called food preservation. Common methods used for preserving food are listed below. Boiling. Boiling liquid food items can kill any existing microbes. Milk and water are often boiled to kill any harmful microbes that may be present in them. Drying. Removal of water, which is the main requirement for microbial growth, from food items. Cereals and pulses are generally dried under the sun. Canning. Storing food items in airtight containers. Foods such as jams, fishes, vegetables, etc. are canned. Refrigeration and freezing. Refrigeration at low temperatures and freezing help to preserve food for longer time since low temperatures are not suitable for the growth of most of the microbes. Meat and vegetables can be preserved by this method. Using of chemical preservatives. The substance which helps in preserving food is known as preservative. Chemical preservatives such as sodium benzoate, C7H5NaO2, and potassium metabisulfite, K2S2O5, are used in squashes, ketchups and sherbets. Using salt, sugar, oil or vinegar. Addition of these substances creates an environment where microbial growth is not possible. These substances, in addition to preserving, also add to the flavor of foods. Pasteurization. A very common example is preservation of milk. Commercially available milk is heated to a high temperature for about a minute and then cooled and stored at temperatures lower than 10 degrees Celsius. In Indian households, milk is boiled before consumption. Nitrogen fixation and nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen is found in many essential nutrients such as proteins, vitamins and chlorophyll. Since plants cannot absorb nitrogen from air, it has to be converted into water-soluble substances. These substances are absorbed by the plants through roots. This process is called nitrogen fixation and is carried out by some bacteria and blue-green algae. The process by which free atmospheric N2 is converted into soluble nitrogen compounds is known as nitrogen fixation. Leguminous plants such as pea and soybean have the bacteria rhizobium in the root nodules which carry out the nitrogen fixation. They convert the nitrogen gas into nitrate compounds. Plants use up these compounds for their growth. From plants these compounds are tranbivores and then to carnivores. When these animals and plants die, they are decomposed by microbes. The proteins and other nitrogen-containing compounds are broken down into simpler nitrogen compounds such as nitrates, urea and ammonia. Some of these are absorbed by the soil and plants. Others are converted back to nitrogen gas by yet another type of microbe. This process of circulation of nitrogen between the atmosphere, soil, plants and animals is known as the nitrogen cycle. In a nutshell, microorganisms can be divided into 5 categories: bacteria, protozoa, fungi, algae and viruses. Uses of microorganisms can be divided into commercial, medicinal, agricultural and environmental. Some of the commercial uses include making bread, making curd and cheese, making alcoholic beverages, production of vinegar, toothpaste and pickles. Some of medicinal uses include making antibiotics, vaccines, food supplements, etc. Harmful microorganisms can be broadly classified as disease-causing microbes and food-spoiling microbes. Some of the communicable diseases in humans are malaria, cholera, typhoid, etc. Diseases caused by pathogens in animals are foot and mouth disease, anthrax and rinderpest. Microbes often produce toxic substances which make the food unfit for consumption and may cause serious illness due to food poisoning. Common methods used for preserving food are boiling, dehydration, canning, refrigeration, and freezing. Nitrogen is cycled between the atmosphere, soil and organisms.